Ladies and gentlemen, it is the Steam Summer Sale, so without further ado, let's jump right in with Saints Row. So you've got all of the titles on discount, although the amount does depend based on, well, the title. So for example, Saints Row 2 is 50% off for some odd reason, yet Saints Row the 3rd is 75% off. Not quite sure what's going on there. Are they good games? Well, here's the thing, here's the dealio. If you've played Saints Row 1 and 2, which are fantastic titles, at least in my opinion, you might be a bit weirded out if you were to jump from, say, Saints Row 1 to 4, simply because it gets a lot zanier. But are they a good game? Yeah, I could go ahead and pick them up. I would recommend them. If you're interested in Grand Theft Auto or a sandboxy type of game, and you've got the humour type, you don't mind zany humour, that type of, I wouldn't say kick-ass type of humour, but, you know, that kind of thing, then go for it. Yeah. If you're interested in a more serious sandbox, then you might get a bit frustrated, just my opinion. Next one, Fallout. Do I need to explain Fallout? I mean, really? I don't think I do. Post-apocalyptic, open world Skyrim, and I'm probably going to get ripped a new one for calling it that, but that's pretty good way to describe it. It's a Bethesda game. You've got, of course, multiple paths. You can pretty much explore the barren wastelands. You can theoretically never complete the game if you didn't want to, or you complete the game in just a couple of hours if you knew it well enough. This one is one of those games where you can get absolutely lost in. I'm probably going to get blasted here, but I've never actually really put in enough time, because when I first started to play the game, I believe it was New Vegas, I got hit with a really annoying bug. Basically the game was uncompletable. The game had quite a lot of bugs at the start, and I'd already sunk like 10 hours in, and I got so pissed I just could not be bothered to start over again. And yeah, so you could probably fix the game using some console modifications, but I just couldn't be bothered, and then since then I've just sat in my Steam library. Are they a good game? Yeah, if you're one of those players that likes that type of thing, likes the sandbox, likes exploring, then go ahead and pick it up. Just for your FYI, before anyone gets super excited, Fallout 4 is not on sale, but the others are. How much depends on, well, you. Sorry, depends on the title. For example, Fallout 3, 75% off. New Vegas, 75% off. Fallout 3 Game of the Year Edition, 66% off. So, it does depend on the title. Killing Floor 2. What is there to say about Killing Floor 2? The best way, it is in early access. I just want to get this over and done with. Currently, it's off, 20% off. This one is one of those games which is much better to be played with your friends. Effectively, it's, I guess the easiest way to describe it would be a more serious version of something along the lines of Left 4 Dead. It is primarily team-based. It has major improvements over the original. There are some problems at the moment. You can get some lag. Perk system still requires a lot of work. There's not that many perks available. There's only 4 or so maps at the moment. But there's a hell of a lot of customization available, good bosses. It's very bloody violent as well, so if that's your thing, go for it. Next one, Kerbal. Actually, wait, sorry, I skipped over a game. The Tropico franchise. Oh, it was naughty of me, wasn't it? Tropico Tropical. What is there to say about this? Well, it's yet another build your own empire type of simulation. Now, I just want to get this over and done with. I will point out the Tropico 5 has gotten considerably more slated than 4. Primarily, if your single player is your thing, then it might be an idea to kind of leave that one alone. Yes, the graphics are better, but the single player, as I said, is fairly bare bones. If you've not played the original Tropicos, then you could maybe start on number 5, but for everyone else, maybe start on number 4. I know it's not a particularly great sounding recommendation, but there are so many excellent build 'em up type of games, like even Age of Empire, Europa, tons of other games over the last couple of days. It's like, if you're into multiplayer, then maybe give it a shot. But if you're looking for more of a single-player story experience, I would probably consider at least not going with Tropico 5. But that's just my opinion. Kerbal Space Program. This is a demo available. This is one of those titles where I'm just warning you. It's not a bad game. It's a very good game. I'm just warning you. You're going to spend a lot. And by a lot, I mean a freaking lot of time on it. It's one of those time sink type of games. I warn you because I don't want you to buy the game and then be like, oh, I can't get anything out of it because I don't have the time to put into it. This is one of those games where theoretically you can spend 10 hours and maybe not achieve too much. Whereas other games, you know, 10 hours and you're like halfway through them. Effectively, you're building your own space program. So you've got to design things, you've got to effectively, you know, create vehicles and whatever to go to space and play around with different designs, figure out, you know, the best ways to colonize. If that's ever appealed to you, then this game is for you. It scores extremely well, the physics and everything else in this game are really good. As I said, the only negative, and it's not really a negative, it's just kind of pointing it out, that it can take a lot of time. Goat Simulator. I don't think I need to describe this one much. It's a simulator where you're playing as a goat. I don't really know how it's a simulator of a goat. I mean, it's not particularly an accurate one. Yes. Anyway, would I go for it? No, personally, because I hate those type of games, but that's just me. Yeah. Anyway, next one, Stranded Deep. This is an early access game. It's another survival type of title. You're basically a survivor of a plane crash. I can honestly say that I don't know too much about it, but I do know that you've got to fight sharks. It is early access. Looking through reviews and doing a little bit of Googling, and the game scores pretty well. It does look absolutely gorgeous as well, I must say. But there are some problems with it from what I'm reading, primarily to do with resources can be a little scarce, and therefore it can be a bit frustrating. Would I recommend it? Maybe do a bit of Googling. It's a pretty good price at 34% off, that's $9.89, so maybe. The Stanley Parable, 75% off, that's $3.74. The Stanley Parable has been described as not a game. I don't necessarily know if I would agree with that, but I guess you could argue it's a playable narrative. Effectively, it's going to be different things to different people. It's an experience, I would say, that could well be worth it. My argument would be, if you're that type of person who wants to experience a little bit different gaming, if you want to try something just, I wouldn't say bizarre, but something different, something, you know, maybe not exactly relaxed, but something that's a bit out there, not something you might have necessarily tried before, then go for it. If you're story driven, then go for it. If you're interested in multiplayer mayhem only, you're probably not going to want to apply with the Stanley Parable. Kind of cool though. Assassin's Creed, the franchise. I won't read out all the prices for this because frankly I'll be here until Christmas, but 35% to 75% off depending on the title. So you got Unity for £22, you got Rogue for $35. You can buy everything. You can buy quite a lot of them. You can buy Assassin's Creed, Rogue, and Unity for $42. You've got Black Flag, blah 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 blah. I'm not going to read all of them because I'll be here, as I said, until basically Doomsday. Now, there are some games in the Assassin's Creed lineup which aren't as good. Like, for example, I personally dislike the original Assassin's Creed, and Marta agrees with me. There are certainly some really good games in the Assassin's Creed lineup, like, for example, Black Flag. Unity's actually really good now that some of the patches have been, kind of fixed, the problems. The performance was absolutely abysmal at the start, but patches have improved things. So if you've got a high-end system and you don't mind the odd oddity, then Unity's still good. Rogue's not bad. Black Flag is fantastic. Assassin's Creed 3 is maybe not quite as good as the 2 series. I don't really have a problem recommending Assassin's Creed. It's not for everyone. There are problems with the combat. The combat is not exactly great. To me, it feels like a simplified, which is pretty impressive considering, version of Batman Arkham Asylum. But yeah, go for it if you want. Mortal Kombat. So this game at launch was screwed. It was abysmal. There were missing characters. There was just... Ugh. It's been patched to a degree where it's somewhat playable. I have heard problems with lag still. And I've also heard still some problems with performance. At least most of the you can't play as a character because it's not installing properly are, you know, mostly gone. The game has a ridiculous amount of bugs still, but the game's still pretty solid. I'm hearing issues like you can't use DLC characters in offline mode and other bits and bobs. Would I recommend the game? If you're a diehard Mortal Kombat fan, yes. But as much as it pains me to say it, and it really does, I'd recommend getting it on console if you can. Ugh, that made me feel sad to say. Age of Empires 2 HD. 85% off, that's $224. This is an absolutely fantastic strategy game. This is a fantastic building game. This is probably one of the granddaddies of the series, to be honest. This is one of those games where you can get absolutely lost in. I don't have a problem recommending it. My only concern is that it looks a bit dated and some of the stuff in the game is a bit dated. Is it a bad game? No, it's extremely good. But you just have to be aware that it does have some shortcomings that, you know, modern games or what have you haven't fixed. You've also got the Europa series, which is a bit different, obviously. You've got Europa Universalis, number 4. You've got the Extreme Edition, a bunch of other games. You've got demo of these available. They score pretty well. I've not played them personally. As I said, there is a demo, so maybe go ahead and check that out first. Unfortunately, I can't play everything. It's just impossible. Dragon Ball Z Xenoverse. Now we've got the new Dragon Ball Super, I believe it's called. Plus, of course, the Resurrection of or Revive of the VEF coming out, which I admit, I'm kind of a Dragon Ball Z fan. I'm not the biggest in the world, but I do like it. Would I recommend this game? Yes, if you're a fan of the series. The combat is not exactly in the lines of like Virtua Fighter in terms of complexity, but it's a good, solid title. It's probably one of the stronger in the Z franchises, so yeah, I'd recommend it if you're a fan of the series. If you're not, or you're looking for a serious, super serious fighting game, no. But if you're interested in a good single-player experience, if you're looking for an extension while you're waiting for the Dragon Ball Z, you know, the new series to start, Dragon Ball Z Super or what have you, then yeah. The Hunter Primal. I have no idea really about this game. It's mixed in opinions. It looks a bit dodgy, frankly. I would do some Googling. It's not particularly recommended at the moment. And people are saying that it's not finished and there are some major bugs. I don't know anything about it. I can't judge it. I'm just reading what's on Steam. Resident Evil, the series. So this one actually kind of pisses me off for a couple of reasons. You've got Resident Evil Revelations 2, but for some reason, I don't, maybe this will be updated, but you could buy the episode 1 of Revelations 2 for like, you know, $2.49, right? So it's 50% off. But what really pisses me off is that the others, the episodes, are all normal price. So it's like, excuse me, if you're the owner of, let's say, episode 1, you can't then get a discount on episode 2 and 3 and 4. It's bizarre, quite frankly. Furthermore, you've got a box set which is like $17.99, which has got tons of stuff. You can buy the complete season for $13.39, which is 33% off. But I think their pricing scheme for this is a little weird. I personally think Resident Evil Revelations 2, good game, despite my bitching about the pricing system. Biohazard 6, it's okay. If you've got someone to play with and you say to yourself, this is not Resident Evil, this is an action game, it's good. Resident Evil 4, brilliant. Can't say much about that. It's just brilliant. Revelations 1, brilliant. 5, it's alright. I mean, I think that the ending was a bit crappy, but I think as a game it's pretty good. But my recommendation of It's Not Resident Evil kind of stays, but not quite to the degree. Once again, much better if you're playing with a friend, buddy, or colleague. Resident Evil Biohazard Remaster. Yes. Yes. And Operation Raccoon City. There's nothing off that as well, which is super odd. Don't know what's going on there. There's literally 0 off of that one. I'm not quite sure why they've not done that. So, oh, you've also got the Untold Stories for Resident Evil 5. So that's actually more survival horror. You get the idea. Anyway, it's 25% off, so you might want to check that out as well. That's all of them. That's all of them, folks. There are some flash deals. The Max Payne franchise, pretty brainless to get, yeah. Especially free. I'm quite a big fan. Icewind Dale, definitely. Limbo, pretty excellent. Broken Age, I've heard, is really good. I've not personally played it. Awesome Naughts, it's also pretty damn good. I'm probably missing a couple. Just Cause franchise, definitely get Just Cause 2. BlazBlue, if you're interested in a fighting game, you could certainly do a lot worse. I'm going to quickly go through yesterday's deals because I didn't do them yesterday because I just got distracted with stuff. Ori and the Blind Forest, Amy Sasha-Martin's playing it through. She said it's pretty good. Dying Light, 25% off. It's not bad. You know, not a bad game. Anno 2070, I've heard some problems with authorization on that one. You might want to do a bit of Googling with its DRM. Batman franchise, really good prices. Unfortunately, it's not much off of the regular game, you know, the Arkham Knight. But if you go to Green Man Gaming, there is a 25% off. I think it's 25% off. Hang on, I don't want to bullshit you. Yeah, 25% off digital voucher, which is functional until June 22nd, it tells me. And you can use that for digital games, so that means you can get 25% off of Arkham Knight. So, I'm just going to tell you how much that is. It's like £35. I have no idea what that is in dollars. So, you're looking at like, I don't know, basically like £8-9 off of that. I'm not going to do the mathematics. So you can basically get it for about £25-ish, which isn't bad. Or whatever it is in your currency. So that's probably your best bet there. Go to Green Man Gaming. I'm not saying that, by the way, as I'm getting paid. I'm just telling you. Evolve, 50% off, maybe. Stephen, who occasionally does videos on the channel, really loves it. I have no opinion on it. Walking Dead, pretty excellent. You've got some of the seasons off quite cheap at the moment. GOG also has some good deals at the moment, including A Wolf Among Us, really cheap. Best of Bullfrog, and some other games as well. I won't read through all of them because I'll be here until, well, probably the next couple of months. So yeah, I won't go through all of them because I'll scare you. Anyway, hopefully you've enjoyed the video. I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye for now.